Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the Legend of Korra and ColourPop collaboration. I picked up a couple of the items. I didn't grab everything, but I did grab the Legend of Korra palette, a couple of liners, and the highlighter. So let me show you those. Let's start with the palette. Let's just take a moment to admire this packaging. I think they did a really great job on the packaging, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think that it looks really cute, and the inside too is really cute. And then for the color story, I really like this color story. I feel like it's got a good mix of colorful shades, but there's also a lot of neutrals in it, and it's got a good mix of things. So I do really like the color story, and I think that it's fun. So I also picked up the highlighter. This is in the shade Spirit Wilds, and it's so cute. They're just adorable. So, yeah, you might know why I picked it up. I don't love this packaging from ColourPop. It's kind of hard to open because there's nothing to like grab on. Like, there's a top clip, but there's nothing to grab onto from the bottom. So, I kind of just have to like wedge my nail in between to get it opened, which is, yeah, not ideal. But then you open it, it does have a really big mirror, which is nice, but yeah. And this is the shade inside. So it's got kind of like a marbled effect, and you can get different colors. Let me just show you a little bit. Um, you can see that those are definitely different colors, and you can get that, but it's probably more likely that you'll just swirl the brush in. At least that's what I do, is I just kind of go like that. And then it ends up as this, mostly as the golden shade down there. So that is what those look like. And I'm just gonna wipe that off of my hands, but that's the general like vibe of the highlighter. I will say, actually, let me try to show you a little bit of a close-up of it. Let me show you a close-up of it sheared out. So it does have some larger particle sizes. I'm hoping that you can see that on camera. I think that you can. But it is like a larger particle sized highlighter, which I like. I think that that's super fun. But if you are somebody who wants the highlighter to like meld into your skin and become one, the glow from within kind of thing, and not like obviously makeup, then I would pass on this highlighter because it's definitely obviously makeup. Uh, but I do think that it looks really pretty, and I'm totally into that kind of highlighter. So it's right up my alley. And then I picked up two liners from the collection in the shade. Let's see, this one is Korsami, this blue, and Heart to Heart, that red. Let's swatch these and then we'll swatch the palette. But here's the red. And I have worn all of this stuff before. This will be my third time trying it. So, yeah. I will say for the liners, I feel like, in general, I feel like this red one is pretty opaque. And then this blue one, sometimes it's opaque in one coat, and sometimes I do have to like go back over and get a second coat in to make it fully opaque. So just throwing that out there. Let's swatch the palette because, yes. So, the first shade that we have is kind of, actually, let me grab them up on my finger and then I'll show you. So, this first shade is a matte light blue with little shimmer particles in it. And then we have a Super Shock shadow that's kind of white, a green matte. Wipe my fingers off and grab the next few shades. The next one's going to be just a normal shimmer, followed by a normal shimmer and a normal matte. There are those three. And then we have a normal matte, a normal shimmer, and a matte with sparkle. And then the next shade is kind of a marbled shade between black and red. And it's definitely a shimmery, like super, super shock shade. Then we have a normal matte and a normal shimmer. So you can see that those two end up being like, they're different formulas. Like this is a super shock shadow and it is a little bit more red because of the red that was marbled in. And then that one's like a matte black with the sparkle. They end up being kind of close, but they are different. So there's those. And the last row has a normal matte, a normal shimmer, and a normal matte. All right, so let's get to the look. I've already primed my eyes. That's what that palette looks like, all swatched out. I think it's really fun. I think it's a really easy to work with, like mix of color neutral shimmers and mattes, the different depths of them. I feel like it's pretty like fun and easy to work with. So I have no idea what I'm going to be doing today. I hadn't thought that far ahead, but we are going to go ahead. Mm, let's get started with the light green in the shade Mover Star. And this will be my third look with the palette, so I do have like some experience with some of the other shades. Ooh, the last look that I did was really pretty. It used this blue and this red as like the main colors, and then it had this shimmer shade and like a little bit of the lighter shimmer shade and a little bit of this kind of brownie orange. So that was super fun, and I basically just did like a blue wing and then lots of reds and orange. It was fun. It'll probably be on my Instagram if you want to check it out. But I actually did that look while filming this video, and yeah, I didn't have my mic working. And so when I got to the footage, I was like, oh, I'm just going to refilm it, whatever. It wasn't a first impressions, anyways. So I'm just bringing this shade all throughout the crease and pulling it over. And then, I kind of want to go into the darker green. I'm going to grab a smaller brush and go into this dark green here. And we'll do that over here. I'm using my Singe Beauty brushes. Yeah, they're good. I like them. All right, so that's kind of the shape that I'm looking for. Um, and I did find that I liked all of these mattes. And then I like the shimmers, but I'm not like head over heels in love with them. I just feel like they're good shimmers, but they're not like beautiful, striking metallic. So yeah, they're not. They could be shinier. That's what I'm trying to say. Just building up the shade over here. Just taking a moment. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring a little bit of this green down under the lower lash line here with my mouth open. Okay. And then I want to take the yellow, this matte yellow, and pop that in here. Ooh, maybe we'll even go up into the inner corner with it. It's definitely not like a super bright. It's got like this kind of dirty yellow undertone to it, but that's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you can see that these are building up and blending really well. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the shade Rebel Spirit, which is a super shock shadow. And it's kind of like this white shade. And I'm just going to put it on the inner corner and blend that a little like this. It's kind of, it's not exactly white. It's got a little bit of like blue tinge to it, but it's largely white. And I'm just highlighting the inner corner with it. And then I kind of want to go really dark with this look. I kind of want to take Future Industries, which is the dark red blackened shade. We're going to throw that on the lid. Pull in like an element of red contrasting the green. I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of fun. I might pull in some of Pro Bender as well, which is the matte black with sparkles. And I might use that to kind of like mesh together this red and black with the greens. That's just what I'm thinking right now. Okay. All right, so that's how that's looking. Let's grab a little brush. Maybe not too little. Okay. We're going to go into Pro Bender and tap off the excess because it could get messy. Let's see. Ooh, nice. Okay. I feel like that really helped. You can kind of see the difference between the two eyes. I'm using a bunch of shades that I haven't used before. The only one of these shades I've used before is the light inner corner shade. So it's interesting. Okay, so let's fix, there's just a little bit of patchiness that showed up. So let's go back with this green and fix that up a little. And we'll just even it out. And then I'm going to go back with the lighter green as well and try to fix up just some of the blend there. That looks better. We're just going to go over some of our colors here. And I think I'm going to pull, I kind of like this yellow in here like that. I think I'm going to pull it up to the brow bone a little bit too in just a second as soon as I'm done with this. Because I feel like we're getting hints of it through there, but I do want it to show up a little bit over here too. Just think it'd be kind of pretty. Like that. That's super fun. And then I've left like this area doesn't have any yellow and that area doesn't have any yellow, but this and that do. Okay, I'm really liking how this is looking. It's not what I was expecting to like get out of the palette, but that is totally good. So let's grab the liners and do some kind of lining. Let's do the light liner on the lash line. I hope it's not too terribly boring for you here. Okay, well, as always, we are not ending up even. That's okay. Um, okay, and we're just gonna hit that side a little bit. Okay, and I'm hoping you did see that I did kind of have to go over that side twice, and I went over some areas on that side twice too. It just doesn't look totally opaque unless you do that, so yeah. And then I'm gonna take this red one and we'll just do a little bit of like graphic liner up here. There, that's pretty fun. I might do a little bit on the lower lash line too. Kind of do some like little fake lashes. Because that could be really fun. And something I like to do with liner. Okay. Oh, that one's too long. Okay. So that's looking good. Let's put on some mascara and then we'll move on to the face. We'll do a little blush and the highlighter. I do already have a lip gloss on. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, I like that. We are gonna go. I lied. I said we were doing cheeks next, but we're not. We're doing a little bit on the eyebrows. This is also from ColourPop. I got it in the same order, and I have worn it several times. I do like it overall. It's their brow gel in the shade Soft Black. I definitely prefer to get like dark colors on my brow products. So I almost always go for like the darkest brown or a black. I don't know, I just really like how dark brows look on me. Um, okay, so that's looking pretty good. Let's pull into the blush. I'm using ColourPop's Heart, wait, what is it? Forever Yours Heart Blush. And it's just this kind of like red pinky shade. Oops, sorry. Hitting the mic. And a little bit on the nose. Okay, let's throw some highlighter on. And yeah. So here this is. Let's try using a little brush first, and then I'll probably, normally when I use this one, I go back in and go with my fingers, but I do want to kind of show you what a brush does because it doesn't do nothing, but it's also not like the best method of application. Okay, so that's how that's looking. And yeah, I definitely prefer adding a little bit extra, especially right at like the corner of the eye, like this area here. I love adding just like a little extra highlight in that area and then just kind of like feathering it out that way and up this way a little bit. So that's kind of the effect that I personally enjoy. So there we go. Um, yeah, I feel like that's looking pretty good. So, thoughts on things overall. Um, I have used all of these many times and I have just, I've been talking about my thoughts as I go, but I figure I might as well do like a little bit of a roundup. So, overall, I do like this Legend of Korra palette. I do feel like the mattes, I've had really good luck with all of the mattes, and I like the shimmers. Um, but I don't love all of the shimmers. Like I like them, but I don't love them, I guess is what it is. I think they're really good and they're really good for shimmers, but they're not like they could be like a step above, but they're not bad shimmers. I think that they're good. They apply well and you can see that like everything went fine. And I've used most of the things in this palette by now, so I have had an experience to like try out almost all of the shades, even though I didn't use them in today's video necessarily. But yeah, I think the only shade that I haven't used actually is waterbending, um, and maybe air. So yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on the palette. I do really enjoy this. I think if you like Legend of Korra and this color story is speaking to you, like, yeah, go for it. Um, the highlighter I do like, but I'm not in love with. Um, yeah, I that's pretty much just how I feel about it. Oh, I got a little shadow or something. Well, I'll clean it up a little more later. But yeah, I do like this highlighter, but I'm not in love with it. I think that I would love it even more if the packaging was the like cardboard packaging that they have. I much prefer that because this is just hard for me to open, but also it's huge. Like this is a very big product that is in my collection, whereas if it was the cardboard packaging, it would be like a smaller square packaging, and I much prefer that. And it could have still had like this cute design on the cardboard. So that's my thoughts on that. And then the two liners, I do like the liners. I do feel like they're easy to use. They are, I don't know if I mentioned, they are felt tip. They're not a brush tip. And then obviously they're a dip plot liner. You guys saw me using them. But yeah, so I do like them. You do have to go over the blue one a couple of times, but it's not like necessarily terrible, right? Yeah, so I like those. That's my general thoughts on it. I'm also liking this brow gel. Bonus review. I'm also really liking the brow gel that I picked up. I think that it's working well for me. So yeah. But in general, I'm also not picky about brow gel, so just letting you know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Feel free to subscribe and like if you're interested. Bye.